And now, the list. I am very, very excited about the list tonight. This is the third episode of this E3 of 2018, and with the celebration of the number 3, we have something that starts with the letter 3. I'm talking, of course, about the 3D2X, or the Sega 32X. This is a subject that is dear to my heart. The Sega 32X was a gift that was given to me by my mother at a very difficult time in my life. I'm talking, of course, about middle school, a time in my life when I didn't have a lot of friends. I only had those things to come home to, those electronic games that gave me so much joy and so much hope and imagination about the future and about where the mind can take you. This is a very precious list to me. I'm expecting that it's a precious list to a lot of you guys out there. And what it is every single 32X game in existence. That's right, we're gonna list every single 32X game tonight, and that's a lot of games. I know what you're thinking. I think you're thinking that, Rob, that when are we gonna be able to talk to you? And we've decided to break it up, and so we'll be taking calls throughout the list while I read off the list of all of the 32X games that ever came out. There's a lot of games, so let's get to it. Doom. Doom was a 32X game that was windowed. It was a windowed version of a very popular game where you fought the monsters in hell. Maybe you remember playing it in secret alone when you were home from school. I don't know. It's a subject that I'm guessing is dear and precious to many of you. It was a windowed version of Doom. It was on the 32X, which was a weird lump that you plugged into your Genesis. Cosmic Carnage was a fighting game that took place in outer space. It featured massive sprites, massive multi-jointed sprites in outer space fighting each other to the death. It was a desperate vision of a future where space exploration has gotten to the point where outer space is a viable arena for fighting games. Calibri. Calibri was it's a 2D side-scrolling shooter that took what you expect from 2D side-scrolling shooters and took from what you expect from Echo the Dolphin games, and they smashed those expectations, and it was a wonderful experience, a dreamlike experience that many of us never forget. It was a game that I played a lot when I was home from middle school. I was alone in my room playing Calibri and wondering about all the wonderful places that the mind could take you. Tempo was a jump up and down game. It was a platformer about like a bug or a friend that loves music and loves it so much that it's willing to do anything it can to save it from evil. You fought everything from other bugs that weren't or other friends, and also you fought giant headphones that were possessed by the evil that was threatening the music. It was a remarkably short game, but it was still on the 32X. Now we also have we have Star Wars Arcade. Star Wars Arcade was, of course, the port of the Sega arcade game that featured polygonal graphics, Star Wars music, Star Wars text, zooming into the background of outer space. This was another game that took place in a future or a past. We never really figured out which of those it is, but it was different. It was unique. You fought the Death Star and you won. It was Star Wars 32X. It was on the 32X. We also have Surgical Strike. Surgical Strike was, of course, a 32X CD game. This is what happened when you linked up the 32X and the Sega CD to create an unforgettable cinematic experiences, but also tight gameplay, unbelievable characters and storylines. NBA Jam Tournament was a game where you dunked the basketball in front of your friends and the rest of the United States. It was a fantastic port of an original game that never went out of style. This was NBA Jam Tournament Edition. I think we have a caller, correct? NBA Jam Tournament Edition. We've gotten through a few games on the list. Just wanted to get some feedback of what you thought about the list at this point.
Well, I thought the list was pretty cool.
You what?
I thought the list was pretty cool.
Okay, what game on the list has sort of stuck out to you? Are you in middle school?
I am.
You are in middle school. How's middle school treating you?
I don't know.
It's okay. If you don't have to talk about things you don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about Headless Heart. Headless Heart, and you don't want to talk about middle school. Middle school wasn't exactly a fun time for me, which is why I know all these things about 32X games.
Oh, well, I think Headless Heart is pretty cool.
What?
I think Headless Heart is pretty cool.
What? Okay. So this is that circle of trust thing again. It's going to come up again, I guess. We're going to deal with it now. I don't want to talk about Headless Harn. I've had that curse on me for a long time, and it's just something that I've been trying to exercise by being a good person and putting on making a show that we can watch, that we watch and we enjoy together as a community of people who play video games and people who don't talk about Headless Harn. Okay? Do you have any? Did you have any questions about the? Okay, can we go? I want to get back to the list. We've got Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2 is, of course, it's a fighting game. It's an arcade port. It's a Genesis port that was made better by being in the little lump that the 32X is on the Genesis. So you plug it in, and it has a few other. You had some extra chords, and the 32X version had. Here's the thing: is that a lot of sound effects and background effects were missing from the Genesis version. So when they put it on the 32X, they brought it all back, and it was a much better game. I have such fond memories of playing Mortal Kombat 2 in my room after school. Space Harrier is, of course, the classic Space Harrier game. It's an arcade game for the Sega Genesis that you played alone in your room. It was a shooting game where you walked into the distance and you fired at everything you saw and collected the souls. And the Slam City with Scottie Pippen is, of course, another Sega 32X game that needed a CD attachment to run. If you had all of those attachments, you had a lot of plugs in the wall, and it was hard to find a correct place to plug all those into the wall. And but if you had Scottie Pippen on your TV and he was teaching you how to play basketball, you had a friend. Night Trap is, of course, a game where you have a group of friends who you care very much about and you protect from the enemies. Primal Rage was another arcade port that was better on the 32X than it was on just about any other system at the time. It was a fantastic Virtua Fighter. Hello? It's day 3 of E3. It's the last day of middle school. You're on the air. Okay. Thank you for your call. We're going to get back to the list. We have the Starfeet. I'm sorry, do we have another call? Hi, you're on the it's extra time on electronic game information.
Hey, Robby.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
You don't seem okay. All right, good. We were really worried. I really like the list today. I love the list.
Okay, thank you.
The list.
I have another list.
Okay.
This is a big list tonight. We got a lot of games to cover.
How big is it? Is it really big?
Did I talk about NFL Quarterback Club?
No, you didn't.
Okay,
Please
NFL Quarterback Club is a
Club.
game. This is a game where you. It's a classic, popular game of football. America's favorite pastime.
I love football.
You toss the ball down the field to your friends, and they're there waiting for you, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any memories about the list that you'd like to share?
I remember the football and my friends with the football.
All right.
I remember that there was that game you were talking about earlier that wasn't Rampage that you mentioned twice.
That's okay. Thank you. That was a totally valid call. We're going to go to the next call. You're on the air with electronic game information. We just read about NFL Quarterback Club on the Sega 32X. Now we're talking about Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure.
It's a disaster.
What?
All of this is a disaster right now.
No, this is not a disaster. This is the circle of trust. All right?
I'm
you
in
trust me?
I trust you.
All right, buddy. What's your name?
Charlie.
Charlie? What is the last painful thing that happened to you?
I stubbed my toe.
It's nice that you want to talk about that kind of stuff, but maybe there's a few things that you don't want to talk about. I'm guessing that you're not going to bring them up in this phone call.
I won't. I only talk about good Battle Monsters characters.
Charlie, listen to me. These are 32X games. These are this is every single 32X game. I haven't even talked about Surgical Strike yet, have I? Surgical Strike
I think you have,
was a helicopter game. You stopped trying to. Okay, thank you for your call. We're next up on the list. It's Zaxxon. It's Zaxxon. You're on the air with Zaxxon coverage. It's 32X Day at E3 2018.
Hello?
Hello? Who is this?
Hello?
How are you doing tonight? It's E3 2018. It's Zaxxon Day, and you are in the middle of a NBA Jam tournament on the Sega 32X.
I'm good. How are you though? Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm doing fine. You know what I'm doing? I'm reading the list of things that I care about.
I'm just wondering, how can we trust you when we don't know why you won't talk about Headless Horn?
How much time do I have to explain that I don't want to talk about Headless Horn? Okay?
How can we
I don't want to talk about it.
Why?
I'm not talking about Headless Horn anymore.
Okay.
This is something that we decided would not be an issue in the circle of trust. And I'm done. I'm done. Bye, Charlie, and whoever you are. This is only halfway over.